Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. And in this video I'm going to be doing something quite different, at least different for me. I am actually going to be creating this makeup look on the fly using new techniques and new products that I've been getting into these past couple of weeks. I'm also going to be using an eyeshadow palette for the very first time. Excuse my quite crappy look overall. That's because I had a workout today, it's the weekend, I'm in a very comfortable outfit, but I just had this urge to film a video for you guys and I thought, let's just do it, and then I get to try out a brand new eyeshadow palette that I haven't used before, live and on the go. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and let's go to my makeupless face. This is my bare face, and let's get started. And what I usually do first is I first do my brows. I'm using the Maybelline, I believe it's called a brow satin. The name of the product is completely worn off, and this is almost running out. So I'm just gonna put this through my brows real quickly. So what I really like about this product is that it just it works really easily. And I don't feel the color is exactly right for me, but it works. So that's the Maybelline Brow Satin, and I'm gonna top it up with the Brow Drama. And I both use the blonde colors, I believe. So I'm just gonna put this in, and that's it. I don't really feel my brows need too much for it to work for me, so I just kind of do it like that. And I'm not sure why I do brows as a first step, but that's just the way I like doing it. Time for eyeshadow base. This is the NYX HD Definition, whatever, eyeshadow base. I think this is a really nice budget alternative. So if you can get, or if you find the Too Faced Shadow Insurance too expensive, then this is actually a really nice option to use. It's time to move on to the face, so face products, and I'm going to be using the Covergirl Ready Set Gorgeous Fresh Complexion Oil-Free Foundation. And I've been using this all week, and you do need to shake it up because it does separate a little, but it's actually quite nice. And one thing that's new for me is that I've been applying this with a makeup sponge, and this is the first time I've ever used a makeup sponge. This is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, I believe. And what I like to do is just put some on my face first. I don't think this is enough, but we'll see. Maybe it does work. And I just put it all over my face, and then I use a sponge to dab it in. And I quite like this foundation. I bought it because Makeup by Tiffany D was raving about it. So when I was in the States this summer, I decided I wanted to try it. The lightest color is just about right for me. I find it a little too dark moving into like the parameters of my face, but I have that with pretty much every foundation because I have a bit of redness in the middle, and then I get really, really pale and light towards my neck. So if I want to fix that, I need to use a very, very light foundation that doesn't really work. So as long as I make sure I blend it down my neck as much as I can so it kind of disappears there, I'm usually good to go. So my forehead doesn't need too much. And I apologize if I keep looking not in the camera, but I have a new camera that I'm filming this with, and this actually has a screen so I can see A, what I'm doing, and B, whether I'm still in focus and all that. So yeah, that's that. And then I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in, what shade is this in? In Custard. And I'm going to use that on any other spots that I might feel that I need this, which is mostly my under eye area, because that gets a little bit of darkness, and I usually put some on my nose because I get quite a lot of redness around here, and I have this like weird splotch across my forehead that I like using it on as well. And I'm going to use the same sponge to tap this in, and I find that I quite like the sponge method. I didn't think I would. There's a hair here. Come on, let's go. There we go. I hadn't expected to like it as much as I do. I find that the coverage you get with this is a bit more opaque than with a brush. And the first time I tried it, I actually could feel the water drying because you need to wet this before you use it. And I actually kind of didn't like it the very first time I tried it, but then I used it for an entire week, and especially with concealer, if you like really like press it in like this, I find it lasts just a lot longer than when you just swirl it around with a brush. It's almost as if it blends better into your skin this way when you use a sponge to press it in. And then I like to go over it with my finger. I always pull faces when I do this. I'm sorry. So that's that. And then it's time for powder. And when I was in the States, I actually did a makeover at Sephora. And the lady at Sephora actually showed me a technique that you can use in order to really make your foundation last all day. And she used a pressed powder, but I've been using my Catrice loose powder for this. This is the Nude Illusion powder. And what you pretty much do is you get a lot of powder on your brush, and then you just press it on like that. And you can see it leaves a lot of white cast, but we're going to take care of that in a little bit. But that's pretty much what I do. And I only use this on the areas where I feel I need the powder. So that's pretty much my T-zone. There's some in my brow. And then my under eye area. And for the under eye area, I'm going to use another brush. So this was the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush. Let me put that aside. And then I'm going to use a Real Technique setting brush with the same powder for my under eye area. So here we go. And I do feel that this way you use a lot more product, but it stays put all day. If I slap this on at 7:30 in the morning, which is usually when I start doing my makeup, it stays all day without any creasing or whatever. So I'm going to use a powder brush. This is another Sigma brush. And then I'm just gonna wipe off any excess powder. So it's a bit like baking, which I saw first at Nikki Tutorials, who was doing that. It's a bit like that, but it's not as extreme as that. But it does really nicely set your foundation. So that's that. We're gonna move on to the face, and another thing that this lady at Sephora showed me was how I can nicely bronze up my face, because that's one thing I was struggling with, bronzing, contouring. Since I'm so fair, it's really difficult for me to kind of get that right. So she used the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Radiant Light on me, which is this like golden shade. And what I like to do with this is I take this along my forehead, and then my temples, and I take some more, and I take it to my cheeks, and I take it down my neck. And that kind of gives a nice little bronzy glow on my skin. And I take it all the way down. And that is a really nice sort of base layer for anything that you might want to do afterwards. So then what I do is I take my NARS Laguna, which is this, and where is it? A new brush as well. I bought this when I was in the States, the e.l.f. Small Stipple brush, and I take a little bit of that, and then I just go and really like use the top of my ear as an outline, and I don't go too far in because I have a pretty narrow face. So if I go do a contour all the way here, it just makes my face look even longer, which is what I was really struggling with. So when I found this trick, I've been actually enjoying doing a bit of contouring. And then what I do is I use highlight, and I've been really enjoying the Makeup Revolution London Vivid Baked Highlighter in Peach Lights. So it's this one. And it's actually not that intense. I really, really like the Balm's Mary Luminizer as well. But that one for an everyday look, I find it a bit too much. And I kind of take this round in a C shape. And since this is a bit more peachy rather than champagne-y, I like this a bit more now that, well, I'm not exactly tan, of course, but since I did get a little bit darker over summer, this works a little bit better than the other one. Then time for a bit of blush, and this is another trick that the lady at Sephora showed me. This is the Milani Tea Rose Powder Blush in 08, and this is the Real Techniques blush brush. Whoa, I can't speak. And what she showed me that for my face, what works best is if I tap on blush somewhere between the contour and the highlight that I just applied, and to bring it in quite far down rather than up and out, and then you can like blend it out really softly like that. And I'm actually really enjoying this blush. It's a really nice tea rose, dusty rose kind of color, and it's all matte, and I really like these kind of shades for fall. So there we go. I'm not sure if you can really see this. You can see the highlight and the contour, I guess. I'm not sure if this is too subtle for the camera, but we'll see. So that is the Milani blush. And that's pretty much the face all done. That's pretty much all I do for my face. And I thought, why not do a video with a brand new product that I haven't used yet before. So we're going to be using the Anastasia, what's this called? The Shadow Couture World Traveler Eyeshadow Palette. And this is what it looks like. It also came with a brush, but I took that out. And this is the, like, I've swatched these, so I kind of know what they're like, in the sense of these are really, really pigmented and intense. But this is the first time I'll be putting a brush into them and put them on my eyes. So let's have a look, and I'm going to see if I can zoom you in a little bit for this too. So I'm going to use this flat eyeshadow brush by Sigma. And let me see, what are we going to do? I'm going to put Spoiled all over the lid. And you know, these like all over lid shades, you don't have to be too precise. And since this is something that I, you know, a look that I could potentially do before I go to work, I don't want to faff about too much. Like, you can go back and forth and go back in with even more eyeshadow and blend and do all this and that. But for the mornings, I like my eye looks to be quite, you know, quick and easy. So now that's on there. Let me take this tapered blending brush by Sigma. I'm going to take, ooh, I don't know if you can see this. So this is the shade, ooh, focus. This is the shade I just used, and I'm now going to put this brush into Morocco. And this Morocco shade is absolutely gorgeous. When I saw this palette on the Anastasia Instagram, I just knew that this shade would make the palette for me, which is pretty much why I bought it. So, but yeah, this is a really like reddish, warm brown that I really, really like. And since this is the first time I'm using this palette, I'm kind of playing it safe because it has these like great metallics and all that in here. But I'll play around with those some other time when I'm not on camera, because now I'm like, I'm not too sure. Other favorite shade in this palette, if we'll focus, and that's this one, and that's Soft Peach. And I'm going to take this on a Zoeva Lux Define Crease brush, and I'm going to tap this in here, and I'm going to blend out my crease with this. So this is something that I've been liking to do as well. I mean, sometimes if you want to blend and blend and blend out a color, that can take quite a bit of time. So if you take a shade that makes a nice transition between your highlight and your crease, I find that that speeds up the process of doing this. But it's the Catrice Velvet Matte Eyeshadow in Vanillity Fair. And this is one of my favorite highlight shades. And it's a really nice sort of like cream highlight. And I'm using a Sonia Kashuk brush for this. That I've been really enjoying for brow bone highlights like this one. There are some other pretty shades in here that I would like to play around with, so I think I'm going to take this in my inner corner, and then I'm going to do some lining with this dark brown right here, and I think I'm either going to use the purple or the blue on my lower lash line, so we'll see how it goes. let me see. Let's do the inner corner first. So I'm gonna take a bit of pink champagne. This is super, super shimmery. And I'm gonna put it just around there. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my finger, press it in here a little bit, and then press it on the center of my lid. Ooh, that's pretty. This e.l.f. blending brush, and I'm going to put this in Morocco, and I'm gonna put this on my lower lash line so it kind of connects to the crease. Just to ensure that little pop of color. I think I'm gonna go in with the purple because I think that works better with the warm tones of, ooh, that's very intense. Do you see that? It's an Essence smoky eye brush. I don't know. I quite like this for lower lash line. Too much. I'm gonna take this little angle brush and I'm gonna take the dark brown shade in Fudge, and I'm just going to wiggle it along my outer lashes right here. I'm not a big fan of eyeliner, so I find it really difficult to apply. So I usually, if I do any kind of lining, I do this. Just take a dark eyeshadow, mostly a brown. I'm not a big fan of black eyeshadow on myself. I think we're good to go. So yeah, there's still some shades in here that I can play around with, but hey, for first impression, I am very, very impressed. Time for some mascara. This is the Maybelline Falsies Flared. This is about to go because I think I need to actually crack open a new tube because I think I've been using this for about 3 months, but oh well. Here we go. And then what I like to do for my lower lash line is just, I don't dip the brush in again, but I just use whatever's left on the outer half of my lashes. I never really put in the mascara in too much. We're just gonna go with this Milani lipstick, which is a matte, and this is Matte Darling, and I actually used some lip balm before doing this, so ooh, of course I rip it. Of course, why not? So I'm gonna put this on. And this is pretty much that Tea Rose blush shade, but in a lipstick. Alright, there we go. That's the lips all done. Alright, so that's pretty much the finished look. I really hope you like it. Yeah, so I did a bit of a brownish smoky eye with a bit of purple on the bottom. It's super easy, and I really hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to check out my blog where you will find this video, including some full face pictures that I will be taking right now. So and there's more content there as well, not just beauty. I also do blog posts on music and fashion and a bit of lifestyle related topics as well. So make sure you check that out if you want to see more of me. Thank you very much for watching.